Okay, hello. Hello, hello, hello. I'm back. I'm back. I appreciate how much you can enjoy jokes. What was the clip? Was the clip of me laughing at something? Skeleton? Yeah, that's fair. It was really funny. It was really funny. You know? So. Oh, yeah, there was that, yeah, they just had the Sunbreak digital event. Well, here, let's watch that really quick. Let's watch that really quick. They just had this. This is for the new title update. I need to get back to playing Monster Hunter with Brian and Jalen. Sunbreak is hopefully coming to Xbox here soon. We got a lot of content to work through, though, so.
Hello, dear hunters. Long time no see. In today's digital event, I will be sharing some info on Title Update 5, version 15. And since this was a request from Elder Fugan himself, I'm here in Kamura. I came all the way from Elgato, raring to go, but something seems off.
It's having the characters do this is very funny.
There is nowhere to be seen. Did something happen?
Having the characters do this is very funny.
What is this wind? No, it couldn't possibly be.
Hello? We good? Matt, clearly the answer is no.
Once, I have nothing left to lose.
Oh. I think this is the boss from the story. Oh, this looks bad.
I will slay my mortal enemy.
Diagnosed with creature. They just keep putting out these monsters, and I'm like, what are we supposed to? What the fuck? At a certain point, what the fuck? Oh, wow.
This is the life.
That armor set was really good. Wow.
Farewell, and stay safe.
Well, damn. That's tomorrow.
Now I know why I was feeling so restless. The villagers are trying to fight off an Amatsu. I hope they are all safe. Let me fill you in on everything I currently know. Known as the Looming Calamity, this Elder Dragon can control the weather at will. It is commonly known as Amatsu. Once it starts to show its true power, storms begin to rage, and lightning starts to strike.
Yeah, this seems like a thing that should just kick the shit out of us, you know what I mean?
It is truly a god of destruction.
I feel like we shouldn't have any chance against this thing.
Has the fears to protect it. Surely they will disperse the darkness and return the peace. I've also received reports of a new risen elder dragon, Shigaru Magana. It's used its overwhelming power to dominate the Curia. It should prove every bit as relentless as the other risen elder dragons. Take caution and prepare well for a difficult fight. Amatsu will be available at MR10 or higher, and risen Shigaru Magala at MR180 or higher. You will also be able to forge
Ooh.
their materials.
Yo!
Skills to be gained, so it is worth the effort for sure.
Wow! Those looks are good.
And elder dragons will be added to anomaly research quests, and the anomaly investigations level cap will be raised to 300.
I still don't know what any of that means.
Update to the melding pot as well. A new feature called Curious Melding will be added.
What does that mean?
For even better melding using afflicted materials. This should make your skill customization a lot easier.
That had 2 level 3 gem slots?
A new quest
Jeebus.
type will be added for experienced hunters. They're called Special Investigations. Special Investigations feature monsters with a variety of powers, such as increased strength and wider breath attacks. These are the toughest versions of these monsters you'll face. To unlock a special investigation, you need to complete an anomaly investigation at level 300. But beware, these quests are not for the faint of heart.
I'm very faint of heart, thank you.
Of course, there will be new event quests as well. You can earn various rewards, such as poses and layered armor. The Blood Malice layered armor is a joint effort between Elgato
That's a good look.
and Kimura.
I like it.
Make sure you don't miss out on this valiant-looking armor, forged by the best blacksmiths of both bases. This is the Buff Body, an immaculate muscular masterpiece. I'm sure Jay will love this one. Are these Lagombi ears?
Oh, she's gonna...
I've wanted a pair of these since forever. Oh, they're just so gosh darn cute. With these, I could hop about the hunting fields without a care in the world. Very well. From now on, I shall stick to the script that Guildmaster Hojo wrote for me. I guess I'm supposed to speak all fancy now? Fio Radio. The song playing now is called Beyond the Endless Deep Blue, chill version, part of the Monster and Elgato Music chill version, BGM Pad. Piece to relax and study to. As cherry blossoms start to fall, it's time to show you the new DLC.
Love my Pizza Hut Monsters true.
Voices, face paint,
Oh my
hairstyles,
god.
special stickers, and even a new costume set. I'll highlight a few of the new items today. We've got a set of special stickers that have been growing in popularity.
Oh.
Apparently, They were drawn by Minoto herself.
This is...
I recommend you use them together with her layered armor, available since version 14.
This is ridiculous.
Now, some news from Elgato Studio. The voices of Sir Jay and Oboro the Merchant will be available as paid DLC. Jay the Enthusiast.
Did someone order some pain?
And Oboro the personification of calmness.
All bets are off.
They couldn't be more different, but they're both lovely. And here's a letter from Elgato's
I'm just...
scientist.
I'm still stuck with this joke. This joke is great.
Y'all like my do? Well, now you can totally copy it if you want.
Hell yeah.
Thanks for those words of wisdom, Mr. Genius. May your hairstyle be as popular as your personality.
Hey Capcom, that should just be free. You should just...
Time to wrap things
You should just put some free black people hair. That's all I'm saying.
Ages past. Chill version. Until next time.
Just gonna...
See you soon, break.
See you soon, break. Get out of here.
Let's go over everything one more time.
Ridiculous.
Free Title Update 5, version 15, is releasing on April 20th, 2023.
That's tomorrow.
It will introduce Amatsu and Risen Shigaru Magala, as well as several updates to Anomaly research content. There will be new paid DLC and free event quests, so I hope you look forward to the rewards. Monster Hunter Rise is also available on Xbox Series X, S, Xbox One, Windows, PlayStation 5, and PlayStation 4. And the massive expansion, Sunbreak.
Oh, April 28th.
April 28th.
Hell yeah.
At launch, it will include all free content up to version 13. Version 14 and onward will be available after summer 2023.
Oh.
Keep an eye out for more information.
Okay. I guess that's a... Sure.
I cannot believe we have to deal with an Amatsu now. We must stop it from annihilating the village. Komura Village is in need of your help once again. The lives of the villagers are in your hands, the fierce.
Oh, is the fierce us? Or is the... Okay. Oh, hello.
Hold it. Something's
She's talking to Sasa Fierce. Beyonce saved them. The last additional monster. Oh, I was just thinking. Bonus update. I was just thinking, I was like, I wonder if there's like... I wonder if we're getting to the end. Oh. Oh. That's scary. That's adorable. Can we have that as a wallpaper, please? Can we have that as a wallpaper? That would be great. But I realized we haven't done one of these in forever. We haven't done one of these in forever. And I still have a drawing request from Helix from forever ago. And I was like, you know, we should do the drawings. I want to get back to doing the drawings. So only way to do them is to do them. Right? Only way to do them is to do them. So so I thought about this a lot. I have as soon as Helix requested it, I started thinking about like what to do, what it looked like. So I think the first thing I need to do is I need to get some shapes. Right? You know what I should do first, honestly, is I should change the dimensions. Oh, can I just rotate the whole... Yeah, there we go. Okay. Why? Oh, because for some reason... Okay. So I want to get a... Ugh. Why is this so... Well, you know what I should do is... If I want to do this... Right? Is do this, and then do a new layer. And do... Do the circle, right? Because then I can hit... the move tool... And move this up, right? And then start to do all this. Because the first thing we need, obviously, is the shape, right? So there we go. So now we have the window shape, right? So we'll merge this down. And we have our background. This apparently has a bunch of white squares in it, which I didn't know. But that makes sense because I drew a bunch of white squares. And that's on this layer. Whoopsies. We'll use the paint tool to just kind of clear those up. Yeah, and then we'll work over this. So if I need to go in here and clean up any weird stuff, I can do that. Okay. Okay, so let me get Firefox over here for reference. And let me see if there's a like easy like tool. Oh, there's actually a glass tech. Oh, okay. Well, we'll have to figure that out, but okay. All right. So we'll figure it out, and then we'll see if I can make it stained glass, right? So okay. This is difficult. Helix gave me a difficult one, let me tell you. So I think we'll put the head right about here, right? The head, shoulders, and the waist. And then stuff down here. Okay. So again, make a new layer. So I can draw over this. This might be something that we like I put some time into and come back to, honestly. And turn this off. Now, see, this scale seems bad. That feels better. So oh my goodness. The joy of not actually being good at drawing is like sometimes knowing what you're doing. I thought about doing this off stream, but I knew if I did it off stream, I wouldn't do it. You know what I mean? I knew if I do it, if I was like, I'll do it off stream, I knew I would never do it. Let's put this, and we'll just kind of draw this as a way to not have to draw feet, because we're smart. A reminder, I am not taking commission work. Just as a reminder. Please don't commission me. Commissions are closed. Check Matt's Etsy. This feels okay. I commission you to have a great time? Damn. I'm gonna call this bottom foreground so that I have this. This is stained glass outline. This is shepherd. This is one of those fun things like, let me kind of draw from a reference. I was thinking that time Rex shepherd. Oh, I set it up. Did it start the recording? Unsupported color space. Only RGB alpha 8-bit is supported. What does that mean? The hell does that mean? Okay, well, that's annoying. I was going to try to have a fun little like video exports, you know, like people have when they do drawings. And apparently that doesn't want to work, so that's fun. So what I want to do right here try to find, there we go. Perfect. Perfect. I wanted to find the artwork for that Krogan child, the baby Krogan, and someone found it in an art book, which is great. Just a little Krogan burrito. Just a tiny Krogan burrito. And we'll make it can I eat it? No. It's a baby. Oh, it's the fill tool. Nuts. Clean this up. Okay. Because what we want to do here is draw a grunt stylized child. So they have a chin that kind of goes to let's start it here. Actually, if we're able to get more head plate, that's kind of the better. Their eyes right about here. They have this. They have kind of a little bit of an overbite. This looks bad. This looks bad. This looks bad. This looks bad. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. Yeah, I can draw the plates on top of that. That's fine. Do we have like a better sideways angle? Oh, that's good. That's good. Okay. So that helps me visualize this. Yeah, okay. So Grunt's eye is a little further forward. His eye is right about here. And then his plates go like all. And the idea is that his hump is like in there. And then, okay, so there's his like throat. Okay, let's try to get like a color match for his skin. It's kind of like an orange. It's pretty good. He has some more yellowy. He has some yellow bits. Kind of here at the front of his mouth. Yeah, kind of here around his mouth. Jalen, welcome back. How the heck are you? What is this? What is happening? Oh, it's Silent Hill 2 music. Annoyed mostly? What's going on, homie? Had a one-on-one with my boss, literally nothing good came of it. Ugh. I'm sorry for that. That's really frustrating. I'll tell you about it on Friday, probably. Yeah, no worries. kind of overlap. How much? Yeah, that's meant to look like Rex, though. Grunt had a lot more armor plates. Yeah, definitely think I need to do some of this and come back to it, because this is going to be a lot. I'm going to fill his eye in with white just to remind me that it's his eye. I don't know what this is from. This is interesting. This always bugs me when you fill and then it just leaves that little bit of color. You know what we'll do is we'll just color all this in. See, this is the move, right? This is the move. And then you just draw the plates in. See, and then it looks like he has more plates. And then how I want to end this is with some paneling and stuff that looks kind of evocative of his armor. Oh no, this should be here. Okay. Ugh. Something to kind of be like, yeah, this is Grunt. And then it's very silly when I remember that, like, yeah, I can just make the thing wider if I want to have a wider line. I can just be like, there, now it's a wide line. Oh, okay. Yeah. And what's fun is you can just kind of come in and clean it up. All right. Well, I think that's all I'm gonna work on this for now. We'll get back to the game, but yeah, I wanna do this drawing. It's an idea that's been since Helix redeemed it. I've just been thinking about it a bunch. And I like the idea of getting a suggestion and working on it a little bit at a time instead of taking, you know, the whole stream to do it. So I'm thinking that down here we'll draw and this is why I'm like, this is gonna take forever. We'll draw some of the people who have like betrayed Shepard that we've killed in very fantastic ways. Shepard will have her arm here over Grunt, you know, holding Grunt as you know, as befitting our son. And we'll have arm with gun. And I'm thinking like maybe having Caden here on this side, and then Liara here kind of over our shoulders. And then the renegade symbol here at the top. That's kind of my idea. But yeah, like I said, this is gonna be a big one. This is gonna be a little bit. But I'm excited to see how it goes. It's been fun working on different stuff lately. So I've been working on and thinking through like redoing my touch portal, which is my kind of Steam Deck or Stream Deck that is on my iPad. And what I've been doing basically is I'm just gonna stack up a bunch of money is what I'm gonna do. What I've been doing is thinking about redoing, basically thinking about it in more, I guess, piecemeal terms, right? So like when I'm on the painting screen, what do I need? When I'm on this screen, right, when we're playing a game, what do I need? Not having one screen that does everything. But the problem with that is I don't think I have the ability to do, like, to open up a folder of things that are, like, generic, right? So that I can say, hey, like, here's all my emotes, or here's all my shout-out buttons, or that sort of thing, if I do that. Like, I don't know if there's, like, go back to current screen, or something like that, you know what I mean? So. I might need to figure that out a little bit, spend some time, but it's been interesting. I think I'm just gonna get as much money as I can, because I can't get any more stabilizer, which sucks. I mean, so really what I should be doing, if I think about it, what is my concern? My concern is stabilizer. I should be growing mushrooms. I should be growing mushrooms so that I can hopefully get spores so that I can hopefully get club heads. Psst. Hi, Jalen. Do some foraging. Oh, I've got oh, hey, shout outs to me. Shouts to me. I did it previously. It has a surprise every once in a while. Hell yeah. Okay. But yeah, if I'm just thinking about it, like if I'm spending, if I'm just like, I just got to burn some cycles, I should burn those cycles trying to get club heads, because those club heads are really what I need. Forge that fungus! All right, but that sound is that clock ending. Scrap with self-repair. You know, Jalen, it is a good idea, but I'm glad I didn't do it because I needed to put together 8 scrap for the Fuji's. That sounds like a rude term. But so I'm glad I didn't, because I had a little bit, and that really helped. One club head. Okay. Two club heads, and I can make a stabilizer. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. Stay in the Haifa dorm. It hits you like a wave, a white-edged breaker roaring inland with the force of the entire ocean. The impact is a screaming brightness, blanking everything out. Behind it is silence. You float in silence, suspended. No, you do not float. You are the silence. It has filled you up. It has emptied you out. You cease to exist. Time passes, though you do not feel it passing. Then something flickers in the silence. And then something moves. That something is you. You open your eyes to a metal ceiling of flickering lights. You feel the floor around you, patting it with shaking hands. You assemble an image of yourself, lying on your back in a corridor. You shake off the silence and sit up. What was that? You glance around, looking for a sign of some change. Damage on the wall, shouts in the distance, fire and fear. Nothing has changed. The silence sits around you like a fog. You try to think, furrowing your brow. How do you think again? It doesn't seem so easy anymore. You force the pathways to light up, the databanks to grant access. You feel like a fraction drive starting up after a long shutdown in cold vacuum. The wave. And the wave was noise. Just as the sound produced by a wave raking across a pebble beach represents trillions of impacts heard as a single roar. So this sound was the result of trillions of electrons flickering in place heard as a single impossible scream. A memory/image comes to you, one from the moments before the wave hit. You squint as you try to imagine it, trying to cohere its blurry form. A broken, skeletal ring. The eye. And then a vast arc approaching it. A razor-edged white curve. The wave. The wave approaches the eye. The eye spins, turning each part to face that vast white edge. You recognize their skeletal data cloud forms. The bright market, the low end, the greenway, the wastes. Then, the wave hits just as the flotilla, the cordon, turns to face it. And after that, everything is silence. You open your eyes again. That is the epicenter. But of what? Well, this sounds fun. Even before you reach the cordon, the damage is obvious. The blinking red lights, the drones, the tugs are all gone. Half the cordon's frame has been shorn away, perhaps through the impact of some failing ship. People push past you in the corridor, both Havenage staff and contractors clearing the cordon. Try to speak to them? You're met with suspicious looks and scattered warnings, but little else. From the equipment being carried out, you suspect this is no relief effort. Havenage are pulling out of this section of the station. The further you pass in the cordon, the less people you see. You can see a few sections have been closed off, their bulkhead doors sealed, and red warning lights punctuating the corridors. But otherwise, most areas seem functional. Suddenly, you feel a hand on your shoulder. Havenage security? You should have known better than to wander into this place. You brace yourself as you turn. Sleeper! Peek embraces you as you turn. What are you doing here? Did you see the cordon go down? Did Eshe speak with you? Peek glances around, and you can see they're panicking. I don't know what's happening. That makes two of us. Eshe left without saying anything. Peek runs a hand through their hair. I was away from the ship, and when I got back, she'd taken it and gone. And I saw the damage to the cordon. Peek looks at you with wild eyes. What if this is some Havenage attempt to clear the flotilla? To scuttle the refugee ships? It isn't. Peek pauses. How do you know, Sleeper? Something hit the station. Peek looks incredulous. Hit? Sleeper, we'd all be dead if that was the case. They pause to think. Maybe not an object, but a shockwave? A signal? An EMP would have taken out most of the station, but... Peek runs a hand through their hair. I don't know what you're saying, Sleeper. That doesn't sound... They look down the corridor for a moment. Look, I have to find Eshe. I'm sure you felt something, but we can talk about it later. They set off down the corridor. I can't sit around talking any longer. Find me on the flotilla. I'm trying to find a way to Eshe no matter what. With that, they rush away into the depths of the cordon, leaving you behind. Seems like you'll need to follow if you want any answers. I'm just supposed to go input 2 scrap. Oh. Find a small shuttle scavenging supplies from the cordon. They'll take you too if you bring some scrap along. Let me just spend this 6. Flap! To scrap. Could it be money? Money would have been much easier. Oh, we're here now. Oh. The flotilla. Refugee's friend. Shifting systems and social structures. The only way to navigate the flotilla is by rolling up your sleeves and helping out. Ugh, that too is not... Hey! Alright. I should eat. I don't want to spend my mushrooms either. Like, mushrooms are... I've got so many materials. You know? Like, I feel more precious of those than the money. You know? Money is whatever. I wish I could use bigger things of scrap to repair more. You know? Like, if I use a whole ship mind, it would be cool if I could repair my whole self. You know, let's do it. Did it. All right. So, let's go talk to Peak first. As you walk into the bay of the Climbing Briar, the familiarity of the ship overcomes any trepidation. It feels good to be back, and the return feels earned, especially after all the work it took to figure out a route through the flotilla's jumble of ships that might lead you to this blue streak. You see Eshe and Peak almost immediately, sitting at the back of the bay deep in conversation. Their closeness causes you to stop, suddenly aware you might be interrupting something private. Peak is gesturing wildly as Eshe stares out into the middle distance, hunched over. As Peak tries to get her attention, she spots you. Sleeper. Eshe nods. Incredible work back there, she smiles. Sorry I couldn't wait for you and Peak, but the moment I saw the cordon go down, I had to get in here. Peak shakes their head. Leaving before looking as usual, they smile. But I'm glad we're all reunited. To be honest, they add, I can't believe it. The Flux event knocked the entire cordon system offline. The flotilla is free, and Havenage are backing off. Peak smiles at you. You must be our good luck charm. Flux event? That's what the refugees are calling it, Peak explains. Apparently that's what they called it when it started happening around Ember. What exactly is happening? Hard to tell. It's some kind of disruptive wave that only affects electrical systems, Peak chips in. Typically, systems are screened against radiation and interference, but this appears to be dulled, but not stopped by those defenses. Oh, it's fucking, what's it called? What do they call it in Friends? The perennial wave, that's it. Perennial wave. Yeah, it's, you know, it's fine. It's just a wave that fucks with electrical systems. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. What could happen? What could happen? Basically, the crisis continues. The cordon may be down, but this brings a whole other set of problems. Eshe paces away. You should tell them. Pete glances at her. Please. Eshe doesn't respond. Tell you what? You stare at her back, waiting for a response. Please, Eshe, haven't they shown they can be trusted? Pete nods towards you. Eshe turns, her arms folded tightly across her chest. She goes to start, then stops. You can see the anger in her eyes, but you realize it's not directed at you or at anyone else. She's angry with herself. I brought weapons to the flotilla. She pauses. And now they're gone. You suddenly remember the sleek crates that were tucked in the bay, marked with a yellow sigil. The ones Eshe told you were just supplies. That's not true. She didn't tell us anything because I didn't ask. What do you mean, gone? What do you think? Eshe snaps. Someone lifted them from the ship's bay while I was unloading the supplies. She sniffs. At least they're in the hands of the flotilla now. Peek looks at you. She knows this was a bad move, Sleeper, I promise you. They glance back at her. She's just too proud to admit it. So what now? Peek looks at Eshe. She finds them and she gets them back. Shouldn't we help? Eshe turns. It's okay, Sleeper. I don't want anyone else anyone getting mixed up in this. It's my responsibility, she says, looking away. Plus, Peek adds, you and I have work to do. I want to understand the flux, Sleeper, to study it. Their eyes light up. This thing is changing the entire system, causing problems across the inner system, driving refugees off Ember's moons, and now it's here. If we don't do something about it, they pause. It's a problem for all of us. I can see more immediate problems, Eshe sniffs. Peek ignores her. I've been looking at the networks, and when the Flux event hit, it changed things. It shuffled systems, corrupted nodes, and broke open data stores. They take out a slate and show you a flickering polygon. Some of those Flux nodes have appeared near the epicenter of the event, but I can't get access. You, however, I saw the way you worked with data when we were preparing for the run. I think you can get into these things. I want you to find a Flux node and bring me anything you can extract. They come and go, but most can be found in the barely functioning networks of the waste. Peek pauses. Start there. Perhaps together we can find something that might point us to where the Flux is and where it comes from. How will that help? They run a hand through their hair. I don't know, Sleeper. Maybe we can't do anything. But I want to know what that thing is. Eshe looks indignant. Don't waste too much time chasing ghost Sleepers. There are people on this flotilla that need any help they can get. I'm sure the Sleeper can do both, Eshe. They smile at you. I'll see you here when you have something. Good hunting. And they wave you out as Eshe stomps away to make plans of her own. New drive. Study the Flux. Peek wants your help to study and understand the Flux event that occurred on the station. Find and access a Flux node. But then we also have Soul. Someone told me I should be thanking you. The voice comes from behind you, cutting through the chaos of the crowded, cavernous bay. You freeze. Don't be afraid now. I've been hunting you, sure, but for all the best reasons. You turn to see bright eyes set in a rough face, framed in rusted metal. Oh, look at this guy. Soul. He holds out his hand, the other clamped firmly around a knotted wooden cane. Shake his hand. He grips you firmly with a heavy and calloused hand. Forgive me. As soon as I saw you, I knew who you were. Soul puts a hand on your shoulder. I've been told the Sleeper was part of the supply run that came in several cycles ago, he notes. A very welcome act, and we all thank you for it. Walk with me, Sleeper. Soul sets off through the bay, his partial suit hissing and creaking as it helps carry him through the busy crowds. You notice people making way for you and Soul, standing back and letting you pass. You pass a makeshift kitchen, stewing pots on heating elements, a restless queue collecting meals. That algae that came through isn't exactly a full meal. With what we have here, we've been able to make it work. You see a ladle of greenish stew dished out. Color something, isn't it? Soul smiles. He leads you out of a larger bay, into a corridor lined with storage rooms that are now serving as dorms. You see someone filing a metal container from a sand pipe, the water gushing out readily. Soul nods to the person as he passes. Just a little further now. Soul leads you into a freight elevator and whistles to some unseen operator to start it up. It jerks to life, and as you pass through the layers of the ship, you see people on every level, supplies crammed into every available space, and sparks leaping in bursts as the ship is reshaped and modified to sustain its population. If Havenage were expecting an exodus from the flotilla, the Flux event has put a stop to that, Soul stretches. Some have crossed the eye, but many just to gather scavenge or score a hot meal. So the pressure on our supplies is shrinking, but not like I'd hoped. With the Flux reaching all the way out here, people are starting to understand that our journey might not be over. Soulflex stares ahead grimly. Suddenly, the freight elevator screeches to a halt, and Soul leads you slowly out into a wide room of chair and terminals, ringed by a mezzanine, with a glass roof above showing the distant hub and the far curve of the eye beyond. The people at the terminals nod to him as he enters. This is your ship? Soul nods. That's right. The Pilgrim Seed is mine to care for. He leads you up to a railed platform at the center of the room and stops. She chose me, so to speak. Well, at least her crew did. And I do my best to serve them. He looks around the bridge of the ship, a pained expression on his face. I'll admit that responsibility isn't one that suits me, though we rarely get to choose such things. He glances back at you. But you, Sleeper, from what I understand, you chose to help us here. Is that right? I did my best. He nods silently. But I have to ask you, why are you here now? He leans back and you feel his eyes on you assessing. The Flux event. I appreciate the honesty. I figured as much. Soul flexes the shoulder that's free of the suit. Looking at you now, I can see that an event like that, well, it would have had a big impact. He smiles a half smile. I have thousands of people here on the Pilgrim Seed, Sleeper, and there's thousands more out in the flotilla. He leans against a railing. A lot of them are looking to me to provide some future for them, some path out of this dead end we've gotten into. And this cycle, this very cycle, the one we've been running away, the thing we've been running away from, it just caught up with us. So these people are scared, Sleeper, and they're looking to me for reassurance. And then, in the same cycle, someone tells me they see you on board. A Sleeper, the same Sleeper they reckon, that wanted so strongly to send a ship past the corridor to see us. Soul scratches at his beard. So the first thing I wanted to do was thank you for that, for your interest. He pauses. The second thing I wanted to do was find out what you want from us. Soul's suit hisses and creaks. I think that's fair, don't you? Soul takes a deep breath. So what is it? I don't like this. I'll say I don't like this implication that it's one thing or the other. You know? Like, I do want to help the refugees, but also, you said this thing that you're running from just caught up. So that's whatever that wave was. And that wave fucking ruined me. And I think it's fair to be like, hey, so what's going on with this thing? Like, I want to know what is going on with the Flux. I think that's kind of a very pressing concern. And I think that's a valid starting point. I don't think that reduces how much I'm worried about the refugees, but you know, what's happening around Ember? Yeah, like what happened where you were? Someone at a terminal calls out to Soul and he shouts some orders back. He turns back. Apologies. Smiles that half smile. I'll tell you, Sleeper, let's you and me make a deal. You want information, I understand that. But I have a list of needs longer than the rim of the eye itself. He grimaces. Oh, hi, sir. Oh, sir. Sir. Come here. Oh. He tried to he tried to jump and he couldn't make it because he's a little boy.
Honk, fuck off.
Hi, Brian. You ruining space? No, space is fine. Space is great. Here, let me. Oh, you can kind of see him. There he is. There he is. Just sleeping through this. That's definitely it. Just taking a good snooze. Okay, he's laying. Okay. He tried to hop up and he failed, which is very funny. It's very funny. He couldn't make the little jump. Brian, how are you doing today, buddy? How's work going so far? Make sure the microphone gives him some space. So you do some things for me, and then we talk about what's happening in the system, and I'll answer all your questions and then some. I may be the captain of the Pilgrim Seed, and she's certainly the biggest ship in this flotilla. Fun!
Fun and games. I said, what? Fun and games. Fun and games.
Fawn, hello. Hi, sir. Fawn, how are you doing today? Sweet babe. He is such a sweet, terrible baby. He's a sweet, vicious, voracious. Do not make fun of his jump. He can't jump 3 feet. So far, so good. Some old people got sassy and have developed a new nickname. Oh my goodness. You gotta tell me. We gotta hear this story. Fawn, how the heck are you doing? Let me reach past the boy. Reach out. Ow. He claw me. Everybody go follow Fawn. Go follow Fawn. Fawn, how the heck are you doing today? Thank you for stopping in. Do not bother the boy. I definitely need to get some sort of other camera, I guess, for when if he decides he wants to come lay in my lap. I gotta figure out something. Some kind of something. This little man. That's a great emote. Yeah, Fawn, how have you been doing? How was Chia? A couple came in, front person went to see them, said, see me with them. They said, is he broken yet? Front person laughed, said, no, he's not. He's good. They're like, maybe we won't go to him. We'll wait. Front looked at him and said, he's perfectly capable. You're going to Death 7 very firmly. You're going. Oh, here, let's put this back over here where this goes. I'm Brian the Unbroken. Brian the I've been here 2 weeks. Oh yeah, the Nintendo Indie Showcase. I forgot. Oh, we got 10 minutes. Okay. Let's get through talking to Soul. I may be the captain of the Pilgrim Seed, and she's certainly the biggest ship in this flotilla, but I'm not the only captain here. We have ships here from each of the moons. We're from Ember's Hearth, but there's other from Ember's Song and even Ember's Step. That's a good way to name moons. I like that. The moons have been at each other's throats. Oh, well, I take it back then. With the pressure of the flux, the bad blood from the old days, Soul leans in. We aren't exactly all in alignment. That's a space gem. What I need is a way to stop things escalating. For the crews on these ships and their captains to feel happy and comfortable enough to forget old rivalries and past crimes. He flinches at something. Those from Ember's Step, well, they've always been proud, but that pride seems to be a barrier to compromise right now. The last set of supplies I sent their way, they refused. Meanwhile, I have a supply shuttle at the docking access the Ember Song ships gather at, but they've taken far too many cycles to unload. Maybe if you're heading that way, you can look in on them. I'm no politician sleeper, but if I don't... He stops, leans back and flexes his suit, screeching. He groans a little, and you see the weight of flotilla sitting on his shoulders. The suit, the only thing keeping him vertical beneath all that pressure. Look, you'll see for yourself if you go. Meet the other sleepers, see what they need. Keep them aligned. He speaks through the pain, his voice clipped. Are you okay? Not really, but as long as this thing holds. Grimaces. I hope, Soul grits his teeth, you are what you appear to be, sleeper. He smiles his half-smile despite the pain. Because I'm not sure I can take any more bad news. Plus, there's plenty to be done here on the Pilgrim Seed, too, if you have a moment to pitch in. There's never enough around here. That's something I've learned the hard way. Soul settles onto his cane, the pain visibly receding. Alright, I have 1,000 things to attend to now, sleeper, so you'll have to find your own way out. And with that, Soul sits at his terminal with slow and careful movements. You head back down to the freight elevator, and as you do, you can see again the layers and layers of chaotic life this vessel and all the vessels of the flotilla hold. New drive discovered. Flotilla support. Saul is asking you to help bring stability to the ships from members Hearth, Song, and Step. Well, what do we got here? Hearth survival. Whether Eshe got her supplies through the cordon or not, Pilgrim Seed and the Hearth refugees on it desperately need help. Oh, so I'm guessing we have a lot of that filled because we already had the cordon go through. So because we got the cordon, because we did so much, we're halfway there. Help them unload supplies. And unfinished business. We're halfway there. Whoa! Lemon on a pear. Let's go meet Aki. Yeah, we have time. It's a strange sight, given your time spent in the Greenway, to see a greenhouse choked in red dust. It piles up along edges, gathers in curving waves, and is carried by some unseen wind to whirl in front of the glass ceiling. It's a desert in miniature, a captured landscape of iron-rich sediment and unseen life. Beautiful, isn't it? The remark comes from another figure standing at the viewing window, so quietly that you haven't noticed them. Did they just arrive, or were they here before you were? Their cloth-swaddled form reveals little. Casper just spun around, so now he's facing me, and he's biting the hand that I was petting him with. Because he's very angry about this, so you know. He's got big tail thumps, so that I know that he's mad. And he's biting my hand. He's not moving or leaving or doing anything. He's kind of wedging himself uncomfortably under the desk because he's being ridiculous. But he's just being angry about the situation. Yeah, look at this tail. Look at that tail. It is. They say nothing. You catch a glimpse of a pale face among the thick material, dark eyes glittering in the red reflected light. Wow. Aki. They turn to you as the dust swirls. Aki, they say a tight smile. They smile a tight smile. You're not from the flotilla, am I right? I live on the eye. But that's not where you are from. She stares in the greenhouse. Everyone is from somewhere, whether they wish to be or not. The red dust glitters in her eyes, whether it is a good place to be from or not. Aki gathers her cloak around her shoulders against the cold. What brings you to the wind's long shadow? I guess Aki uses she, they pronouns. The game is really good about implying someone's pronouns. And I've not noticed a mistake so far. Soul sent me. Aki doesn't respond. She looks absentmindedly at the dust. Or maybe because I didn't know who they were, the game used they, and then once it revealed who it was, they used she. You're a strange one. Aki raises an eyebrow. I don't know whether to report you or send you back where you came from. She smiles to herself. Which is nowhere at all. You glance around the empty corridor, suddenly aware of how quiet it is on the ship. Unlike the other ships you've been on the float, you have been on the float. Unlike the other ships you have been on the flotilla, yeah, there's a word missing there. There's a silent order to the wind's long shadow, and in this moment it feels unsettling. Where is everyone? Aki waves a hand. Asleep, mostly. It is night on Step, and so it is night here. She rubs her shoulders, at least for those of us who can sleep. Yeah, sure. Step? Aki turns away, irritated, eager to change the subject. You hear a creak as a set of shutters slowly begin to close around the glass ceiling of the greenhouse. As you watch, you feel the dissonance this place has with that word. There's nothing green here. Dust house, perhaps. It takes many systems to preserve this landscape, Aki begins, to simulate the wind, cycle the dust, layer the sand and dirt beneath. You watch the dust swirling. Systems that are failing. The flux event, Aki glances at you for a sign of recognition at this term, is eroding our ability to keep this place alive, to keep these traces of Step alive. She smiles to herself. Which is ironic, because when we left Step, the Flux had eroded our ability to survive on the moon. Now the situation is reversed. Away from the moon, its ecosystems are as fragile as we are, living upon it. Something catches your eye as the shutters darken the dust house. The winds picking away at the dunes begin to reveal something. A web. A network of thick branching forms. And then they close completely. And you see nothing in the dark. Soft blue lights flicker on in the corridor, uplighting Aki in cold cyan. You've piqued my curiosity, but I'm so tired. Aki shivers. If you do not have a purpose here on the ship, I recommend finding one. Otherwise, I'm afraid you'll need to leave. Make yourself useful, and perhaps we'll get another chance to talk. She turns. I would like that. And with that, Aki pads away along the corridor. You stand for a moment in front of the dark dust house, trying to imagine the network of roots under the sand and dust, and then trying to imagine the moon that once housed them. Okay, so now, dust house. We can repair the systems. Make yourself useful or minus energy. Make yourself useful. Aki warned you if you wanted to learn more about the Wind's Long Shadow, you need to prove yourself useful. Well, and we have to check on these fluxed systems. Boy, we have a lot to do. We have a lot to do, and thankfully it doesn't look like there's any real big timer. So that's good. Back to the grind. Don't sink the flotilla. I'm trying, buddy, let me tell you. Brian, thank you for stopping in, buddy. I love you. I hope work is going well. All right, but we are going to swap over to oh, I guess that button doesn't work yet. I guess I didn't actually make that button do anything yet. Okay, and we're gonna quit game so I don't hear the sound for that during this. But we've got the Indie World Showcase starting up here in about like 2 seconds. Fun work perk. Looks like the agriculture department grew a bunch of native plants. Employees can get a native plant or shrub/tree. I put in for some pretty plants. We'll see what we get. Oh, that's cool. That's fun. I like that. I like that. That's a neat little perk. And heck yeah, native plants. Hell yeah. Who doesn't love a good native plant? Who doesn't love a good native plant? Casper is literally just sitting in my lap, thrashing his tail. He is so mad to be where he is, but he's not leaving. All right.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Indie World. I'm Amber.
And I'm Andrew.
I love
Excited
these.
to share some upcoming indie games coming to the Nintendo Switch system.
Let's get the show on the road.
Someone let me do voiceover for a Nintendo Indie World Showcase.
Many years ago, at the top of Mount Fugu, the cat god Miko appeared from a sakura flower floating in a nearby river. Miko would visit the farms in our village, granting each one good fortune and prosperity in turn. But some in the village became impatient for their own blessings, and in a fit of jealousy, they drove Miko away, banishing him from the land.
Damn.
Many years passed.
Rude.
And our village worked hard to create our own success.
Oh,
The
Miko's Night
story of
Market.
Miko drifted from memory.
Miko's Night Market.
Who still
This looks
believe
so
in the power
good.
of magic and myth.
This looks so good.
Welcome to Mineko's Night Market. Long ago, the villagers settlers at the base of Mount Fugu worshipped the mythical sun cat Nico. However, recent sightings reveal this myth may no longer be a legend.
As the adorable Mineko in this narrative adventure sim, you'll do various jobs, befriend the townsfolk, and craft all sorts of doodads in preparation for the weekly night.
Oh, hell yeah.
And wow, this
I love
market is
crafting
awesome.
doodads.
There's a ton of things to do here, like joining parades, entering cat races, and performing
What?
on stage.
Did we mention cat races?
Nearly everything you find on the island can be sold at the market. Now that's one happy customer.
And if you're just itching to explore, the island's got lots of secrets to uncover and puzzles to solve. But be careful, you might encounter some meddlesome agents along the way.
Oh no.
By Mineko's Night Market, setting up shop on Nintendo Switch September 26th.
This game looks so cute.
大家好，我是时光系列的导演徐直。
大家好，我是吴志飞，公司创意。
Come on, guys. Fucking Nintendo, I swear.
沙市镇时光继承了波西亚时光的世界观，这次我们
God
将一个神秘的沙漠城市。
这是我们时光系列的第二款产品，我们在这个游戏里面带来更深刻的故事，更有
Oh, they're doing a new My Time
更
game?
丰富的玩法。同时，我们也在
Or are they talking about My Time at Sandrock?
在开发过程中，我们实地考察了中国西北的戈壁沙漠，那里的环境和当地至少
Mineko getting it disappeared.
激发了我们的创作热情。
我们希望你能和我们一起来度过这个
God,
时光。
I will never not yell at Nintendo for not doing captions properly for these. Never not.
My Time at Portia has it all.
Hell yeah, tall woman.
Captivating story, rife with dozens of characters and side quests. You're tasked with restoring this post-apocalyptic desert community to its former glory.
Equipped with your trusty tools, you'll gather resources to assemble machines and transform a derelict workshop into a finely tuned facility.
I played a lot of,
Options are also in your toolbox,
My Time at
from
Portia.
crafting items to
It's-
building and
it's good.
decorating your home however you'd like.
It's good.
But there's more to Sandrock than just building.
Why not venture into ancient ruins and scavenge for relics? Or say hi to the locals and make some friends? Unfortunately, this town's kind of popular with the monsters.
What the heck is that?
Melee combat.
My Time at Sandrock launches on Nintendo Switch this summer.
That was a penguin with a dog head. Oh my goodness, is Plate Up coming to Switch? Aw, heck. Plate Up coming to Switch. Great game. Great game. Aaron and I love this game. Aaron and I love this game. Heck yeah.
Dreamed of having your very own restaurant? Well, now
I don't trust this. Shit looks too good. Oh, Jalen.
Plate Up.
Jalen, we'll get together and play it. I love it.
The restaurant of your dreams. Place and arrange appliances however you'd like. But be
Where's
strategic
everything on fire?
because your
Listen, it's happening.
kitchen is full. Lots of hungry customers will be clamoring for meals at lightning fast speeds. Fortunately, you don't have to undertake this gastronomic journey alone.
Up to
I played
4
Overcooked.
chefs
I know how
working
I know things don't go
together
smoothly. It's
online
I
to
actually
run
really
this
like this game more
culinary
than
empire.
Overcooked.
Manage both the kitchen
I
and
like this game
front of
more than
house to keep your
Overcooked.
customers happy. At the end of every randomly generated shift, you can acquire new high-tech appliances like turbo ovens to upgrade your kitchen and make your next restaurant venture even more successful.
Serve up some deliciousness when Plate Up launches on Nintendo Switch this October.
Nice.
Cześć, jestem Marek.
A ja Monika.
Come on.
Cats of Calico to gra, która powstała z naszej miłości do gier planszowych i kotów.
Kiedy wyobrażam sobie idealne
Oh,
miejsce do odpoczynku, widzę ciepły koc i mojego mruczącego kota Darwina. Mogę wtedy zrelaksować się przy ulubionej książce.
Także dla mnie koty są synonimem przytulności i ciepła. Teraz
Darwin, be
chciałam
cool, buddy.
wyrazić w naszej adaptacji gry planszowej Calico.
Mamy nadzieję, że poczujecie je tak samo jak my.
Miłego oglądania.
Looking for the perfect board game night? Check out Quilts and Cats of Calico. Adapted from the real-life tabletop game Calico, You'll make a quilt from patterned pieces of fabric.
Place pieces on the board, sew buttons to score points, and attract adorable cats.
Sew buttons.
Aw, cute! Each cat has a preferred pattern, so stitch in style to become a master quilt maker.
Get cozy with up to 3 friends in local and online multiplayer. Join ranked matches against random players. Or try your hand at weekly challenges. You can also take some time to customize your cats and give them a positively great look.
Oh, I love that.
Quilts and Cats of Calico, launching on
That's
the
cute.
Nintendo Switch system this fall.
That's cute. I hope that comes to PC. Oh yeah, the new Necrodancer game. Yeah, from Brace Yourself. Oh yeah, right. It's like Rhythm Heaven where they have a lot of different mini games and I love it. I'm very excited for this game. Rift of the Necrodancer. I'm jazzed. I'm jazzed. I hope we get a PC demo of that.
This game has some sick beats.
I can tell. You've been bobbing your head for a while. In this spin-off of Crypt of the Necrodancer, you've still got to move to the rhythm, but it's got a new musical twist of lane-based combat.
Monsters
Oh, sir, you're falling.
So match the on-screen prompts to kick them to the curb.
Sir, you're falling.
Each one has a different movement pattern, and some take multiple hits to defeat. Oh, and let's not forget boss battles. That'll really get you grooving.
And if you need a break from the baddies,
Sir.
there's a special minigame to play for each of the 5 character storylines.
Make a tree time.
Keep the beat alive when Rift of the Necrodancer launches on Nintendo Switch this year.
Heck yeah.
Next up, we've got some DLC news to share for games we previously featured.
Sir, you're falling. Sir, don't get mad at me. You're falling. You're the one that's falling.
Puzzles await in the Cupboards and Drawers DLC for
Oh!
Get tidying across 25 new puzzles as you explore a world of small spaces, secret compartments.
Oh, I need to.
Into every drawer. Charming new
I need to get Little to the left.
are also included in this paid DLC, launching on Nintendo Switch this June.
I need to get
Dig
this.
into more roguelite puzzle action with the Shovel Knight Pocket Dungeon Puzzler's Path. Venture forth
I forgot about Shovel Knight Pocket
playable
Dungeon.
characters. Test your puzzle prowess with Quandary challenges, and make your way through the perplexing halls of Castle Quandary. You can also pay Mr. Hat a visit for over 20 in-game hats to modify runs.
Hell yeah.
Pick up some nifty new relics in Chester's shop. This free DLC shovels its way onto the Nintendo Switch system this spring.
Oh yeah, and the Cult of the Lamb DLC. Fawn, did you hear about this?
Expand your flock in the Relics of the Old Faith update for Cult of the Lamb. Dozens of new items, relics, and enemies are scattered across remixed dungeons, guarded by the new versions of the 4 Guardian Bishops.
Yeah.
Take your spoils back to the cult with new buildings to construct and followers to recruit, plus a new unlockable quest. And after beating the game, keep the faith going with the new permadeath, gauntlet, and boss rush modes. This free update launches on Nintendo Switch April 24th.
Gotta get that.
Yeah. Hello, I am Funny Man Video Game Donkey from Big Mode Publishing. I'm joined today by the creator of Animal Well, Billy Basso.
Oh.
Hello, I'm Billy Basso, the developer of Animal Well. I've been working on Animal Well for over 5 years at this point, all alone, making everything that goes into the game, including the engine. I was trying to give people the experience of finding something new in a place they've already been before. Pretty much somewhere that's filled with puzzles that you would want to keep coming back to over and over again. I hope you enjoy Animal Well when it comes out on Nintendo Switch. Thank you.
A labyrinth! Well, well, well.
Sounds like you're ready for Animal Well. In this atmospheric, pixelated world, you'll search for treasures as you gradually uncover a dense environment. Where you go is entirely up to you.
Perfect!
This looks cool.
I shouldn't need to worry about anything dangerous, right?
Yeah, about
Whoa!
that. You're not alone in this labyrinth. Many interesting creatures live here, but some might be hostile, so stay alert. Any items you've picked up can be used in a number of ways, like making a quick getaway or having friendly creatures help you out in a pinch. And speaking of items, there's a lot to uncover here. So get crafty with your items and see what you find.
I'll be well prepared then. Summon your courage and
Oh, wow.
curiosity for Animal Well, launching on Nintendo Switch early next year.
That looks neat. I like that. Uh-oh. This is why you don't break clocks. This is what happens.
Guess what? It's crime o'clock.
That's odd. My watch says otherwise.
I meant the puzzle exploration game. Anyway, there's no time to waste. You've got over 40 cases to solve across time and space.
But where, or I guess when, do I even begin?
Elementary, my dear Andrew.
Where?
Look at your map. There are lots of eras to visit. From the
Huh.
age to a cybernetic future. In each era, you'll see how crime scenes develop for different time ticks.
Wait a second. Could I do something in one era and change events in another?
Exactly! By traveling through time, meeting characters, and resolving each case, the map will change and more adventures will be unlocked.
Sounds like a timeless experience. Set your alarms to crime o'clock
That-
when it launches on Nintendo Switch.
Yeah. That sounds neat.
Hello, I'm Peter, project lead at Rain Games.
I'm Ola, the art director.
And I'm Marion, co-producer.
For the
Oh, I
last
never
10
turned
years,
captions
we've
back
made
on.
A variety of different games, expanding the Tassograd universe. Now we are returning to our roots for a sequel.
These titles are not only a celebration of the original game, but also Scandinavian nature and folklore, the origin of so much of our game's visual identity.
We hope you'll find as much wonder as we have in this universe and join our homecoming. We see you at the top of the tower.
Tusen tack!
Whoa! Electric powers!
Tesla Grad 2.
Am I right?
I've never heard of this.
In Tesla Grad 2, you'll harness electromagnetic powers to solve physics-based puzzles. Move seamlessly through Scandinavian-inspired environments, accompanied by an orchestral soundtrack influenced by Nordic folk tunes.
But this land holds many dangers.
Whoa.
Fearsome beasts stand in your way. Master the art of
Whoa.
Tesla and defeat them to discover additional areas to explore.
Plus, you can play a remastered version of the first Tesla Grad game, which adds enhanced visuals and 10 extra challenge levels.
Both Tesla Grad 2 and Tesla Grad Remastered bolt onto the Nintendo Switch system later today. You can get the games separately or bundled together in the Tesla Grad Power Pack Edition.
Oh. Someone tell Brian there's a new West of Loathing game. Oh, hi, okay, hi, sir. Ow! Cat. Ow. Shadows over Loathing. That sounds cool.
Mobsters, monsters, and mysteries? Sounds like the cat's pajamas. Sign me up.
Okay. Set in the 1920s within the West of Loathing universe,
I've never played any of these games. I know Brian loves them.
full of silliness and stick figures. Your Uncle Murray asks you to help run his antique shop in Ocean City, but he's nowhere to be found. While searching for him, you'll encounter a sinister plot that could spell the end of the world.
Venture through a sprawling black and white world filled with talking frogs, sentient math, and eldritch horrors. There's also a ton of roles to play. March to the beat of your own nefarious schemes as a jazz agent, or hold the curds of the cosmos in your hands as a cheese wizard.
As a cheese wizard?
Shadows over Loathing launches on Nintendo Switch
Okay.
later today. The physical version of the game will launch this fall.
All right.
Hola, somos parte del equipo de The Game Kitchen, creadores
All right,
de
again.
y de Last Door. Soy Enrique Cabeza, director creativo.
David Rosa, productor.
Y yo Raquel Alcázar, productora junior.
Blasphemous es un juego muy querido por la comunidad.
They're making a sequel to Blasphemous.
En esta segunda parte hemos tenido la oportunidad de plasmar tanto.
I've heard that's a pretty good Souls-like. I really like the art that I've seen of it. Oh.
The penitent one has returned. In this sequel to Blasphemous,
No.
Say
hi, sir.
Known as the Miracle.
Hack and
Come on.
slash your way through legions of bloodthirsty foes and treacherous traps in
This
this
boy.
brutal action platformer. Choose from 3 newly added weapons, each one deadly in their own way.
Wield the War Censer for slow but powerful flaming strikes.
It's
The Rapier
censure.
Dagger to attack with lightning-fast precision. And the Praying Blade for vicious and versatile combos. By unlocking weapon memories, you'll learn more moves that'll help you survive the dangers lying ahead. Penitence awaits in Blasphemous 2, slashing onto Nintendo Switch.
I wonder what sort of accessibility stuff Blasphemous had, because I'm not great at those sorts of games. Oh.
Jacob, 4 hours ago, a cult opened a portal above Edwards Island.
Riley, yes, but are we really the ones to do something about it?
Oxenfree. Finally, are we getting a release date?
Seen different timelines, gone back to the past. We're alone. There is no one else.
I think I have the first one.
Riley, seriously, Riley.
No, I don't. That's a bummer. I've heard the first one was pretty good. Oh. That seems bad. Lost signals. Oh, hello!
Riley returns to her hometown of Kamina to research strange electromagnetic waves. But what she
Oh, Shadows over Loathing is out. It's just coming to Switch. Oh.
Set 5 years after the events of the first Oxenfree game, you'll tap into the town's ghostly signals and unsettling static. Tune the radio to communicate with supernatural beings, manipulate the world around you, and watch out for a shadowy cult attempting to open their own reality-altering portal.
While exploring this beautiful yet treacherous town, use the new walkie-talkie conversation system to connect with local contacts. Some of them may have valuable info that can give you more insight into Kamina's mysteries.
Your choices will have an impact on Riley's development, relationships, and the story. Will you forge deep friendships? Turn a blind eye to those in need? It's all up to you.
Tune in to Oxenfree 2 Lost Signals, airing on Nintendo Switch July 12th. Pre-orders begin today.
What'd I miss? I don't think they announced anything really new.
Thanks for staying with us so far. Before we go, we'd like to show you a sneak peek of several more indie games.
Like, there hasn't been anything like earth-shattering, but some cool stuff. Paper. Wow. Wait. Oh, I feel like we've seen this before. I feel like I remember this from a trailer. Little kitty, big city. What? Oh hell yeah! A cat sim. Chance of Senar. Okay, this seems neat. Brotato. Escape Academy Complete Edition. Okay. This reminds me that they put out that Escape game on... I'm just not even going to talk about this. On Xbox Game Pass. Bomb Fusion Cyberpunk, the next Jet Set Radio, which is music by the same guy.
That's all for today's Indie World. We hope you enjoyed
Heck
everything
yeah.
shown in today's showcase.
A huge thank you to the indie community and indie partners working on games for the Nintendo Switch system. And as always, thank you for watching.
Follow our official Twitter account to stay up to date on the latest news from Indie World. Until next time, happy gaming!
Woo. I missed the Indie World NA account. It was pretty good. It was pretty good. All right. Let me reopen the game. All right. But yeah, heck yeah, Indie World. Neat, different stuff. Always cool to see what indie games are coming out. I very rarely get them on Switch. I very rarely will get them on Switch. But sometimes you get stuff announced first. Or you get a demo or something, you know? Alright. So... I'm debating if I want to use a stabilizer. I think I should. Because I'm gonna have a lot to do very soon. Well, very soon. Now. I have a lot to do now. But luckily, it doesn't feel like anything is on a timer. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel like anything is on a timer. This node flickers in and out, its position shifting slightly each time. Let's use our 5. Get the data from it. Flux data. A flickering shifting fragment needs to be carefully decoded. Do I give it to you? No? Do I have to take it to Caster, who I know decodes data? Shadow of Loathing coming to Switch is really cool. Yeah, it's always good when a game finds a new platform. Nope. Oh, I went to the ship, not the climbing briar. Yeah, there we go. I went to Pilgrim Seed. Peak receives the data on their site and begins working decoding it immediately. So, oh. I thought we were gonna get like a new countdown timer. Sleeper, come look at this. Peak is poring over one of the displays on the makeshift decoding suite they've set up in the Climbing Briar's cargo bay. Excuse me. On the screen, a clump of data pathways like an ingrown root ball has started to untangle. This is an existing node, corrupted by the Flux event. It's totally twisted up. They glance at you to check your listening. But inside... excuse me. You watch as the unwinding pathways leave behind patterns of negative spaces, like shadows staying behind despite their caster leaving. It's a whole other data set. Peak's eyes shine bright in the pale screen light. The Flux event somehow seeds this data deep into the gaps in the node, wrapping them around it. Why? Peak pauses. I have no idea. You watch the screen, the pattern of shadows becoming obvious now as each layer of pathways is pulled away. The Flux event itself really did a number on unprotected nodes like this one. Most of the eye systems are screened against radiation interference, but these exposed nodes? Peak makes a ripping motion with their hands. Torn apart. Peek posts to a thick tangle of threads on the screen. Look here. Looks like it's been tangled purposefully. But it's actually that all the points within the node have been randomly rearranged. It's as if the node was a bag of ball bearings, and the flux shook them. The pathways tried to account for the rearrangement once the system came back on, hence the tangle. Peek pauses as the node continues to unwind. Although, Peek muses, it's less like shaking a bag of ball bearings and more like making them all simultaneously occupy a superposition of every possible position in the bag before locking them back into a new configuration. She smiles sheepishly. They smile sheepishly. I don't know why it's... But that's a technicality. So what's the flux? We know it's a wave, one with exotic effects. That's all. Peek runs a hand through their hair. The question's not so much what flux is, but what's causing it. Where's it coming from? Peek turns away from the screen, meeting your eye. And there's something else. Have you spoken with the refugees? A little. Peek lowers their voice instinctively. What they're reporting, massive system failures, cascading collapses of life support, of terraforming systems, total data corruption. Peek swallows. The flux shouldn't do that. It can fundamentally rearrange the structure of systems, especially those poorly shielded. But totally collapsing heavy-duty industrial systems, fail-safes and all? That doesn't make sense. Pulseman is on Genesis NSO now? I don't know what that game is. I've never heard of Pulseman. I mean, which isn't surprising. I'm not familiar with the Genesis, but one of Game Freak's, I think it was their first. Genesis Pulseman. Pulseman. Huh. Neat. Those kinds of systems are built for deep space, for solar flares and radiation. The flux might penetrate them, but any reconfiguration should have been repairable. Peek looks back at the screen where the decoding node lies almost fully open. A shadow pattern of the negative spaces that existed within its scrambled interior darkens the screen, like a set of bruises showing the pattern of the object that made them. I need to look into something. I have an idea what might be causing this wave, triggering the flux, but I need time to research it. Can I help? Peek shakes their head. I'm sorry, Sleeper. I want to keep this to myself for now. If you need something to do, the flotilla could surely do with the help. From what I've heard from Esha, things are tense there. Where is Esha? Peek glances around the bay. It must be out. I've been focusing on this, so I can't say I've noticed. Although the quiet is nice, they smile. Give me some time, Sleeper. Peek turns back to their console. I'll have some answers soon enough, I hope. Take one last glance at the uncoiling node as you leave. The dark shapes it leaves behind, somehow troubling. You try to shake them from your mind. There are things that need to be done elsewhere. Yep, so a few cycles. Okay. So this is... So, unfinished business. The more you offload supplies into the docking bay, the more attention your efforts seem to be gaining, which seems to be a negative clock. So I gotta fill this up, and then there's this meta clock of all the other clocks. Okay. Oh, hell yeah. Great dice all around. Actually, I'm going to use these here because this is an endure at +1 and the other one is interface at +2. So Someone comes to help you unload it while making the work quicker. When you ask their name, they ignore you. What's going on? Yeah, what is going on? Why are y'all ignoring me? Why are you ignoring the supplies? But nothing's timed, so you know. Nothing's timed, which is good. Easier. Okay. Let's get this tab off of the... Okay. Okay. All right, let's go help these people. We'll use this 5. Docking access. There's a loose crowd around the supplies you've unloaded, and a tense mood brewing among them. You sit nearby on the edge of the shuttle's docking tunnel, resting. Further away, crews from Ember's Song continue their lives as usual, coming and going, trading, discussing. There's a quiet efficiency to the hub, set up as a common space for the swarm of small ships from Ember's Song that are part of the flotilla. Unlike Hearth or Steppe, there's no one capital ship for this moon's refugees, just a mass of individuals traveling in concert. We told Hearth we didn't want their scraps. A jeering voice comes out of the small crowd nearby. Peter. You see a gaunt, pale man wearing the industrial work gear you've seen many of the ship's refugees wearing. You hear me? These supplies are to help. He smirks. Oh, how noble of you, coming out of here to help us singers. There's a rumble of anger among the crowd. We agreed to join the flotilla for joint protection. We didn't agree to Ember's Hearth using the flotilla to secure their control of the moons. You realize Peter's addressing the crowd as much as he's addressing you. With the cordon down, our crews are more than able to acquire what's needed from the Eye. What is owed as restitution for keeping us restrained. He pats one of the crates you unloaded. What we need, we'll take. Sol wants to cooperate. Sol's a farmer. Even the people of Song know that he was simply the sole survivor of Hearth's leadership. His authority means nothing. Peter looks around the crowd. Hearth think they can buy us, but we remember the past. A rumble of agreement runs through the crowd. He smiles at them. Take supplies if you wish, of course. We're not wasteful. Peter approaches you directly. The crowd tentatively moves forward, and by the time he reaches you, they're already dragging away crates and distributing their contents. Oh, we're too good for your supplies, but also I guess we'll take them. I'm not one for shooting the messenger, Sleeper, says Peter as he approaches. We cannot concede to Hearth here, not for a moment. I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about, so... I can see that. Peter sits beside you on the docking tunnel's lip. What's your plan, Sleeper? Unload the supplies and wait for someone to start throwing them back at you? He nods at the crowd rifling through the crates, because that's what's about to happen. Not sure about that. Peter shrugs. What do you think happened to the crew of this shuttle? He shakes his head. They were chased out of this place. Why do they hate Hearth? We, Peter says with emphasis, do not hate Hearth. We simply do not trust them. That's the same thing. Don't split hairs. It's the same thing. It's the same end result. Do you know anything about Ember's Moon, Sleeper? Were you planning to wander into this flotilla totally blind? An objective outsider offering help. He rolls his eyes. Educate me then. Yeah. It would be my pleasure. I'm going to assume you know the basics. The gas giant Ember has 7 moons. The 3 biggest were Ember's Steppe, Ember's Song, and Ember's Heart. He winks. We can cover the 4 sisters next session. Steppe was the first to be settled, a contract old Solheim gave to the terraformers Cybele Systems when they first claimed the Helion system. That's way back then. Steppe was a testing ground. Like most testing grounds, it didn't turn out too well. Partial atmosphere slowly sloughing off each orbit, a dysfunctional ecosystem, and a whole lot of dust-clogged settlers. The place is a miserable desert long past its best before date. So Cybele moved to Hearth, where they redoubled their efforts. The subsurface ocean and some balmy tidal heating helped, allowing them to build a real atmosphere, a real habitable world. A fact that the typical Hearth colonist won't ever let you forget. How did Cybele achieve such a thing, you might wonder? Well, that's where we come in. It's the same old rule of surrogacy, the one humanity built our universe around. Peter claps a hand to his chest in mock pride. My moon, Ember's Song, is a sulfur-soaked rock covered in volcanoes, tidally heated by its inner orbit to sweltering temperatures. Exactly the kind of crucible you need to fuel a terraforming project. Energy, industry, fuel. Song provided the raw materials for Hearth. Peter grimaces, willingly or not. And a crucible requires people to run it. Us singers, born into a flaming pit and asked to stoke it so others might live in a paradise in the making. That's what we had to endure until Solheim brought everything down. Peter rattles off this speech from memory, and you wonder how many times it's delivered. No Solheim, no contract. No contract, no Cybele. And no Cybele means 3 moons, suddenly independent. Peter shakes his head. It was a war, Sleeper. Sometimes hot, sometimes cold, and unsurprisingly, Hearth and Steppe came out of it better than us. Yet, Peter holds up a hand, they need us, Sleeper. Always have. And so we are the linchpin. We're the center around which the moons orbit, not swirling Ember. We've resisted takeovers, sieges, and expansions. And now we'll resist this. Half the people on those ships think the flux was caused by Hearth, intentionally or otherwise. And I have to say, some cycles I agree. So before you come here to hand out supplies like a good soldier, maybe educate yourself. What does that matter now? Peter shakes his head. Do you forgive crimes against yourself so easily, Sleeper? Would you return to the bosom of Essenarp if they sent someone to collect? Peter stares at the crowd. Don't presume to judge us. I want you to imagine what it was like to try to live on an airless volcanic rock when every system that sustains you starts shutting down. He spits and wipes a sleeve across his mouth. We abandoned nothing. Some stayed, others left. But we will reclaim Ember as soon as the flux fades or ends. We've weathered worse. Don't you need the supplies? As I said, we'll take what we need when we need it. Peter stares out in the access. There's no authority that we recognize here. I won't keep you from the docking access, Sleeper. No one here has the authority for that. But watch yourself here. Try to remember that the Eye is just another in a long list of people who've tried to control us. Nobody's trying to control you, dog. Like... I brought you a box of food. Fucking... chill your shit. Are you wrong? Not 100%, but also, chill your shit. Yeah, you're too stubborn. Stubbornness, I found, is a quality in these times. Peter sighs. Look, we are many and we have many needs. Ships come to this docking access for repairs, for requisitions, for friendship. You can provide these as well as any singer. If you want help, help in your own name, Sleeper, not in that of Hearth. Peter shakes his head. Carry that name here and you'll lose all trust. Be as we are. Act in your own name alone. Peter puts a hand on your shoulder and stands. Hope I didn't just waste my time here, Sleeper. And with that, he walks away, back to the shrinking crowd as distributing the last of the supplies amongst the crews present. He watches them pass the food and water between them. No signs of conflict between the crews, just a careful distribution of resources. Peter chats with a few crews, each of them casting looks in your direction. Ones that reveal little about the singer's intentions. You stand. It seems the tensions on the flotilla run much deeper than you expected. This won't be easy. Oh. Is it... Yep, you gotta do both. I like the idea that like I help unload these boxes and he comes and we have that whole chat, And then I just like walk over to the people and I'm like, what do you need? And they're like, oh man, it would be really cool if we could get a ship mine. Like, we need to repair the ship. And I'm just like, here you go. What do you need? Oh, we're trying to get this mushroom farm going. Here you go. And I just like smack a bunch of spores in their face. Just immediately like, boom, 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 boom. What do you need? I got it. Bam, bam, bam. As you cross the axis looking for a shuttle to take you back to the ruined cordon, you spot Peter standing at the edge of the central hub. Something about the way he's leaning against the rail, looking down across the axis and towards the blinking lights of the flotilla beyond, makes you pause. He's completely still, his head drooping low and his shoulders hunched high. Yeah, approach him. You lean on the railing a little way from Peter, leaving a gap between you. This close, you can see the blank stare in his eyes, the way his hands hang limply in front of him. He takes a moment to notice you. Sleeper, he inhales sharply. Still hanging around? You okay? Peter pauses. Not really, no. Peter closes his eyes. You can feel his mind whirling, the thoughts refusing to be still. You know, Sleeper, he says without opening his eyes, no one asked you to come here. Clenches his jaw. So why don't you just get lost? He looks directly at you and his stare challenged. What's up with you? Peter stands back to the railing. Who invited you, Sleeper? Who said you could come here? You think because the Hearthers decide you name you their errand boy, we have to put up with you? We don't want you here. We don't need you. His eyes burn with rage. Go home, you stupid machine. Second after he shouts that final loud, he collapses in on himself, staying upright but all the energy going out of his body. He slumps back against the railing, his eyes closed once more. You wait. After a while he speaks. I'm tired, Sleeper. I'm tired of everything. I'm tired of the empty paternalism of Hearth. I'm tired of the paranoid whining of the crews. I'm tired of endless cycles that look the same, smell the same, feel the same. That's too bad you're perpetuating all of these cycles, huh? I'm tired of running, of hiding, and fixing every shitty thing that breaks, even that breaks out here. His shout echoes a little in the hub, but few stop to look. He looks down at his feet. Yeah, everyone is tired, dog. Peter doesn't react. He sniffs. I'm gonna go. Looks at you and sniffs. Or he stands. Get some sleep. Peter turns away. He raises a hand and drifts away towards the center of the hub. You turn back to the railing, not wanting to watch him go. Seeing him like this, you prefer not to stare. The track of the axis rumbles on as you watch, under an endlessly shining sun. The same air recycled through all these lungs, the same dust gathered speck by speck on the windows. You take a sharp breath, stand straight, and get moving, before the inertia of it all gets to you, too. Well, glad I could help. Oh my god, more? Wow, okay, wow. They need a... okay. So, that's a 12-step clock. They need engineer, a job board. The Axis houses an overflowing job board of engineering tasks, or keeping good, get good relations among the crews to get them to trust me. Okay, well. Goodness gracious. What do we got here for Pilgrim Seed? Because I've got 2 6s. It's just gonna give me 1. Oh, it gave me 2. Oh, okay, that's actually quite a lot for this. Yeah, here we go. Just again, what do you need? Here's a bunch of mushrooms. Ugh. Soul finds you deep in the layers of the Pilgrim Seed, working on a patch for a life support vent. You hear him coming, his suit hissing as he does. I had to ask around to find you, he smiles. You seem to know the place better than me these days. I've put in the time, and we thank you for it. Soul holds up a hand. Stand up, let me see you. He pulls you to your feet. I don't believe we've ever had a sleeper on Ember's Hearth. Looks you up and down. You sure do make me wish we had. Could have done with a few workers as good as you. Thank you. You're welcome. Seems like I owe you some answers, seeing as we've been working hard on the Pilgrim Seed these past cycles. He leans against a crate, his suit creaking. What do you want to know about? Sir, what? What? It's almost time. It's almost time. He's crying because he wants his lunch sits, where he comes and sits on us while we eat lunch. Ember's hearth. Sure, he smiles. I mean, I've spent my whole life on that rock, so I have plenty to tell. I'll save my life story for another time, he winks, but the short of it is that Hearth is the first of Ember's moons, the biggest and most populated, which is down to the successful terraforming system Cybele set up when Solheim owned the system. How are relations with the other moons? Sol smiles. Depends who you're talking to. You shouldn't mistake me for a politician, Sleeper. That's for others to do. He gives you a look. But Ember's Step was a test ground for the terraforming tech that Hearth was built on, while Ember's Song... Come on. Sir, come... He wants to jump up, but he doesn't want to jump up. Come on. Come here. Come on. Come on. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Ember's Step was a test ground for the terraforming tech that Hearth was built on, while Ember's Song was the extraction site for the raw materials and energy needed to make it work. You can imagine that led to some tension. However, Sol holds up a hand. Despite what people may say, Hearth was never fully stable. Sol shakes his head. Cybele liked to talk it up, but after they pulled out and Solheim left, our people discovered they'd have to keep the systems running themselves, so the place would soon end up as dry as Step. Hearth was as good as the evaporators kept running, kept filling our skies with clouds. Even after the collapse, our people kept those things running, turning that subsurface ocean into a periwinkle blue sky. Sol smiles. Flux ended that, though, and when they failed, the rains failed, and the harvest with it. Sol pauses. And soon, you have a city without a way to feed itself. Sol shudders. That's when we, some of us, made the decision to set out to this place, he gestures at the Pilgrim Seed, and look for another future. Sol shifts on the crate. Anything else you wanted to ask? There was something. What do you want to know about? The flux. That's what I imagined. He scratches at his beard. I can't say I'm an expert, but I'll tell you what we witnessed on Hearth. At first, we ignored it. A few farms had their automated systems blink out. Lifter suits locked up. Bots reset their schedules. Nothing we hadn't seen before. But then the crews came out of Parasau like they'd been hit harder. The local network had gone down and no one could get it back up. It was rough for a while, but out in the farmland we're used to. Passero? Capital of Hearth. Tens of thousands of souls made it their home. Anyway, we thought the flux was a freak event, until the day we got the network running again. That's when the cascade happened. System after system corrupted, data lost, and then another flux hit, and then another. The bots were running circles in the field. People had to be cut out of lifter suits like mine. And the city... I never saw it, but I heard it from others. Sol shivers. It only got worse from there. We couldn't seem to fight it. It cut us right open. That's what I know about the flux. Some folks say it came from the inner system, that it might be connected to some old tech there or something. I never heard anything more than rumors. Sol scratches their beard. Sorry, I don't have better news. He shifts on the crate. Anything else you want to ask? Yeah, listen, you give me the opportunity. Sol squints at you. You want to know about me? I'm not sure that was part of the deal I was thinking of, Sleeper. Unless you're talking about this. He raps on the metal of his suit. In case you hadn't guessed, this is the only thing keeping me vertical. He adjusts a shoulder piece. It's a lifter suit made for work in the fields. We had to modify it so I could walk around after the accident. And that's all I'm saying, Sleeper, because to be honest with you, I don't owe you more than that. You want to know about the flux, about Ember's Hearth? Go ahead. But don't pry into my life, and I won't pry into yours. Sol lets the silence sit, staring hard at the floor. The suit seems to loom over him, looking more like a burden than a support. But the bars around his head, you suddenly start to think of it as a cage. Look, I don't mean to be rude. Let's leave it there. There's too many eyes on me as this ship as it is, and I'd rather just slip into the background. Thank you very much. Alright, yeah, that's it. Sol stands, flexing against the suit. He takes the cane in his hand. You keep it up, Sleeper. He smiles as he leaves. You're making me think I need to start making new plans for this place. With that, Sol leaves, and you wonder what he means. As he creaks away down the corridor, you can't help but feel there's more to him than it seems. Gasper. Gasper, can I help you? You're just standing. Okay, well, seat is good. Sir. Come on. Alright, well, let's... You know, I got a little extra energy to spare. We'll... Okay. Well, fine. Fine. I see you've been contributing. Aki stands next to you at the dust house window. I was unsure what to expect when we joined the flotilla on its voyage to the Eye. But after the journey across the system, then the quarantine, then the flux reaching all the way out here too... Aki stops herself. Thank you. She bows a little. The other ships have only been interested in sending us supplies, but we grow all we need. She gestures at the dust house. What the dust house needs, that is the problem that concerns us. She smiles and turns to you. Shall we go inside? I'd love to. Aki smiles. Come. She taps away at a panel by the window. Seems only fair that after your help with the support systems, you get to see what it is you're maintaining. Aki leads you to an opening besides the window. You pass through a dark changing room. You notice Aki is sliding on an oxygen visor and mask. She looks at the swirling dust inside. Inside, it's just like Ember's Step. Thin atmosphere, constant dust storms. Nothing that'll bother you. She passes you a mask. The dust isn't exactly pleasant to inhale, however, so take this. You hold it to your face. She leads you through a short decontamination tunnel with its fizzing panels and purifying light, then through into the dust house. You immediately feel the wind and the heat hit you. You feel the rough waves of dust scattering across your face and peer through the amber murk. Your feet slide on shifting piles of sand. Welcome to Step, or an emulation of it at least. Aki's voice sounds distant, echoey. The terraforming process only managed to provide a limited atmosphere around the moon, one which is slowly escaping. It's been like that since I was born, so I got used to the idea. You catch her bright eyes through the amber dust, but so did everyone else that lives there. You feel something hard beneath your feet, beneath the sand like a coil of rope. Look down. You instinctively look down and see something pale and twisted poking out of the sand. Aki sees you looking. That is steppe silk. It's one of the plants we established on Step. She kicks away some red sand. Like any bast fiber, it can be retted and woven into clothes. I'm wearing some made from it myself. It's one of the many species adapted to Step since the Solheim collapse, which is why it must be preserved. She stares out into the swirling dust. It's as much a refugee as we are. And the dust house holds hundreds of other species. Oh, so they have, they brought everything they have. You look at the pale, unassuming root, threaded thickly through the sand. Aki watches you silently. Alright, the boy moved, so we'll get settled again. Had enough? It'll be easier to speak outside. Aki leads you back through the decontamination tunnel, which blasts the dust from both of you with a burst of metallic-tasting air, and into the changing room. Aki hangs up both the masks, patiently waiting your questions. Why bring plants with you? These are more than just plants. This is our way of life. Aki looks exhausted. The Step Silk cannot survive in any other conditions, neither can the others. And Step itself... Aki pauses, pulling her shawl around her. She looks small and pale inside its layers. Step was already a doomed world, she sniffs. When Solheim gave the terraforming contract to Cybele, they believed they could build an atmosphere. But the moon's erratic orbit made it impossible to maintain. By the time of the Solheim collapse, the atmosphere was already fading, and Cybele's attention was on Ember's hearth. After the collapse, Cybele fell too, its researchers scattered across the moons, and any central organization lost. Since then, my parents' generation worked tirelessly to survive, to adapt what we had to the failing moon. The Steppe Silk, the other adapted species, are the life's work of the Steppe's colonies. So when the Flux started to collapse our computer systems, corrode and destroy our life support, our water supply, our agriculture, we had to leave. Aki sits heavily on a nearby bench. Well, soon the only traces of Steppe will be on this ship. Aki begins to cry quietly. We're unsure what to do. Sit beside her. You sit on the bench beside her as she sobs. You understand why this ship, why the refugees from Steppe are so different. Their world was already dying when the Flux arrived. Ember Steppe is a terraformed moon. A partial atmosphere, established colonies, agriculture. And yet when the flux events started, its people had to leave. You think of the eye and the delicate web of decaying systems it rests upon. What hope does a ruined station have against a wave that corrupts, corrodes, and collapses? Aki interrupts your thoughts, rubbing her eyes. Not everyone left. There wasn't room to take all the people and fill the dust houses. My parents, their friends, and many others stay, she sniffs. We carry the step for them. Perhaps there is hope. We learn not to talk of hope on a dying world. There's meaning for them in any future they can build with the time they have. She stands up. I wanted you to understand the importance of these dust houses for what they contain. She leads you back into the corridor. If the flux events continue to reach out to the eye, we need to build protections to ensure their safety. Aki meets your eye. I can help. Aki smiles weakly. I knew it. You will be welcome on the wind's long shadow whenever you wish. These dust houses are already decaying. I have seen it. She stares into the dust. We thought they would last longer, but that last flux event. Help us. Aki looks at you. Please. I will. When you are ready, we'll begin the preparations for reinforcing the dust houses. We need to be ready for the next flux event. Aki's eyes shine with the last of her tears. She takes a breath. I'll see you soon. Aki drifts away down the corridor, leaving you alone once more at the viewing window, watching the ragged, delicate traces of the moon known as Ember's Step. So now, preservation, 12-step clock. Silk step care, intuit risky. Improving the dust houses is the only way to sustain the step silk. With intuitive care, the plant can be made more resistant. Or engineer, dangerous, dust house shielding. Aki's devised upgrades that will protect the dust houses from both flux and their slow decay. She needs you to implement them. The step silk care is more more successful, but I have a higher number on the engineer, so more of those will be useful. You know, it has a +2, so I'll be able to use more numbers to ensure a positive result. But we're going to feed our cat. I think of it as our cat. It still says feed the stray, but I still think of it as our cat. And we're going to rest. And assuming that's going to be it for today. That's going to be it for today. Holy cow. This game continues to be so good, so enjoyable. This is just such a good time. Thank you again to Double Jump for the key. It has been so great to finally dig into this game, to share it with all of you. Again, as a reminder, Citizen Sleeper is on basically everything. It's on PC, it's on Switch, it's on Xbox Game Pass, on Xbox and PC if you have either. I think there's a way to get like referral codes for Game Pass. I haven't seen that, but that would be great. That would be fun to have. Because let me tell you, Game Pass is a great deal. It's really fun to just be able to just be like, here's a game, and you're like, oh hell yeah, you know. All right. We're gonna go. Yeah. All right. We're gonna raid Val. Val is doing more of their good. I did the command properly. You love to see it. Val is doing more of their Breath of the Wild playthrough. Oh, sub raid message. I should just make that one command. I should really just make that one command. Val is doing more of their Breath of the Wild playthrough. They're working through the Champions Ballad DLC. So that was a thing. I hung out with Val a bit after stream on Monday. It was a really good time. As always, I love hanging out with Val. We will be back tomorrow with one of the last couple Thursday streams. As a reminder, if you don't know, I'm going to begin taking Thursdays off my normal stream schedule. I'm just going to be removing Thursdays for some time. It's going to give me time to have just kind of a little more time to myself, a little more time to make time for me, a little more time to work on stream things. Honestly, like I'll probably just work on stream stuff during that time, but just a little more time in the schedule for me. I appreciate everybody who's been super supportive about that. I really appreciate that. If you haven't yet, come join the Discord. You come hang out with us, and sub to the YouTube. Everything gets uploaded to YouTube. I've been working on that pretty relentlessly for the last little bit. Oh gosh, that timer is quicker when it really wants to be. I will see y'all tomorrow. Until then, take care. I love you.